Now Catherine Leyden is back with us to show us how to make a white chocolate and raspberry cake, perfect for treating someone special, and especially coming up to Mother's Day. Good morning to you, Catherine. How are you?
I'm good, Alan. Yourself?
Sure, we're hanging in there. That's all we can do.
I know the feeling, Lord.
This looks beautiful. I can't wait to dig into it.
Oh, good. You know, Alan, it's amazing in the last few years, white chocolate and raspberries have become very popular in scones or in a mixture like this. Now, before you came to me here to save on the noise with the beater, I have creamed together here 225 grams, that's 8 ounces of butter, 225 grams, 8 ounces of golden brown sugar. If you don't have the golden brown, use regular caster sugar.
Okay.
Now, it's important, as we said umpteen times before, the butter must be at room temperature. And you beat just until the mixture is combined and it's gone off-white in colour. Don't overbeat. That's important. If you overbeat, you're going to have large, ugly holes in the cake afterwards. Now, because this is quite a large mixture, and it does take a few minutes to combine the half pound of butter and sugar. Here I have 4 eggs. So I'm going to toss the 4 eggs in. And here I have my flour. And I'm going to add just a small amount of the flour. And this is really, Alan, as a precaution, because if you have the eggs and the butter or marge at room temperature, the mixture will not curdle. However, if you use cold eggs from the fridge and the butter is at room temperature, your mixture may, in fact, curdle.
Oh.
So it's important that doesn't happen. So now we combine these ingredients together. And you see how simple that is. Now, I'm just going to take my chocolate off the heat there. We'll come back to that in a minute. So that's what your lovely mixture looks like. Can you see that, Alan?
Looking beautiful, yes. Finally,
we're going to add our remaining flour and a teaspoonful of baking powder. Now, I know we're using the self-raising flour, but you do need the extra bit of baking powder because of the quantities involved. So we'll just take our teaspoonful out, put that aside, sieve that in. And finally, we're going to add a tablespoonful or 2 of water. Now, some people use milk. I prefer to use water. I think you get a lighter result after baking if you do. And a teaspoonful of vanilla extract, which is about 2 capfuls. Vanilla extract, or indeed the vanilla essence.
All right.
So they're all together there in the bowl. We now just stir them. And I, in fact, have the oven preheating, 350 Fahrenheit, that's 180 centigrade, gas mark 4. And the oven must be at temperature before you put this into bake. And it's also important that you have your shelf in the centre of the oven. Because if you put this too near the top, Alan, it's going to scorch or burn on top.
Yeah, it'll burn on the top before the rest is made.
Yeah. So because of the amount of mixture in the tin, it is best if you have it in the centre position in the oven.
Okay.
So that couldn't be easier, could it?
Yeah.
So we divide that mixture between our 2 tins. And normally I just spoon large spoonfuls of mixture into the tin. If you're very fussy now, of course, you could weigh out the mixture on a weighing scale and even it. Now divide it out evenly, but to be honest, this works pretty good. Second spoon and second spoon. Now what I generally do at this stage, Alan, when I have transferred my mixture, I spread it before I take the last remaining mixture from the mixing bowl. So you gently spread that in the tin. And when you've this done, Alan, you have a fair idea if there's more in one tin than in the other. So this one here has a little bit more, which means we're going to just put the remaining mixture from the bowl.
Catherine, we're running out of time. So they go into the oven for how long?
They go into the oven for about 30 minutes. Then you take them out. We put them in now.
Yeah.
Now, I have one here that we made earlier. I've already spread the jam on it, Alan.
Yeah.
So onto this, we're going to just put some chocolate, the melted white chocolate.
Over the top of it.
the edges. That's okay.
So the jam in the middle and then the white chocolate over the top.
This one, that on top, and then the remaining icing on top, and then your lovely raspberries. So there we go. Now you have one there to sample, Alan.
I do. It looks beautiful. And as you said, it would be a lovely treat if you made it for Mother's Day.
Absolutely. So pile on the raspberries, and then, just if you want to finish it off a tip, take a bar of white chocolate and just take your potato peeler and just use curls of chocolate on top. So there we have our chocolate and raspberry cake for Mother's Day.
Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much, Catherine.
See you next week.
See you next week. Take care. Oh, it's lovely. I'm going to tuck into this. Take a nice big bite now while we take a break. We'll see you in a few.